Renewables have a few risks in common, and that is all space intensive and infrastructure intensive. If you think about the number of blades, the number of panels, batteries, it takes up a huge amount of materials, and therefore management of our supply chain is quite crucial, but also the circularity component. So what do you do after the lifetime of the project? So the decommissioning part is something that we manage, or try to develop guidance on. And then also the physical footprint of these projects is large, and whether it's offshore wind, onshore wind, solar. So those are some key areas that we've been working on. On the footprint, one way of trying to manage that is by not just developing power, of putting a project in place to develop power, which of course is the primary focus. But you can do more. You can implement co-use activities, and that's a range of different activities, like it can be nature development, ecosystem creation. It can be alternative livelihoods like beekeeping or sheep grazing or stuff like that. And there's a lot of very nice examples in our industry. So what we try to do is really capture those, get some of those learnings in terms of technicalities, in terms of budget associated with these projects, and develop a compendium of those. So that's nearly completed now. And also within my company in Shell, we have nice examples of this in, for example, in the Netherlands, where we have a solar park where we not just did grass in between panels, but came up with some native low-growing pollinator species. And then we had some community participatory monitoring programs where we looked at what species were observed in terms of not just floral but also in fauna, with all sorts of nice results. Different types of protected bee species that were not seen in a long time, and yeah, very, very successful project. So those are the learnings that we like to capture. So that is a piece of guidance that will come out in the next few months. Then a second topic that we've been working on, I forgot to mention that co-use compendium is done in collaboration with International Union for Conservation of Nature. A very nice partnership where we really benefit from each other's insights in this project. Another project that we're close to completing is a collaboration with the Energy Institute, where a guidance is made on supply chain management in offshore wind specifically, and it covers three big topics. It's around decarbonization, it's about ecology and circularity, which is all three very big topics in the offshore wind space. So it's really been a challenge to condense all of those learnings down in one comprehensive document, but I think we got there in the end. And that is a nice deliverable of this task force as well. And then so those are two activities that we're close to completing, while we're also starting some new initiatives. One of them is that last year we had a series of webinars on management of raw materials in our supply chain. And now we'd like to take those webinars and see how we can translate that in some short guidance for our contracting people that work our projects, with some specific advice on what to consider in contracts with our OEMs, etc., to help managing that. And then a last piece of work that we're kicking off this year is looking at decommissioning, responsible decommissioning of our battery and energy storage systems. You see rapid growth in that space, and obviously that takes up quite a few resources. So the circularity component of batteries is important. And for that reason, yeah, we try to develop, we want to do a literature review on how to manage that effectively as well. So what are the types of batteries being used? What are the circularity possibilities? What infrastructure do you need? What is the cost associated with this? Those are the learnings we like to capture yeah, and a literature review. So yeah, a busy program for this year, but yeah, it's going fairly well.